First of all, congratulations on the win.
Appreciate it.
Last game, it was Cade, it was MA, and it was who? Keelan in double figures. This time it's Cade. It's the two of you guys, plus the bench outscores their bench by about 25 points or so. Seems like there's maybe some mounting evidence about the depths of this team. Maybe Rondel, can you start us off maybe talking about where the team is as far as production from a number of sources?
I feel like we have a very deep bench and a deep team in general. We had a player not even suit that plays contribute major minutes. We had 1K dealing with a jaw issue that he plays major minutes, and we still just find a way to get the job done. So I feel like that's just kudos to everybody who recruited us and got us here, and like we just gel really well, and we're all happy for each other, so that makes that much better.
Ferron, what did you see from the guy sitting next to you right now? What did you see from him today?
Oh man, big time. I mean, I see it every day in practice, so it's no surprise to me. I'm just real proud when he keeps working, and he's always one of those guys that's ready whenever the coaches call on him. And tonight, I mean, none of us are surprised by what he did at all. I mean, we'll see this multiple more times this year. So.
All right, very good. Members of the media, if you have a question for Rondel Walker or Ferron Flavors, please click raise hand. We're going to try and get to you. If you can you please address the question to the person who you want to answer specifically? So our first question is going to come from Marshall Scott from Pistols Firing. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah. Hey, Rondel. Oh, sorry. I hear myself going up there. I'm sure you've envisioned this moment for a while now, playing in this gym. What was it like to score 19 points here?
It was just at a certain point, because I came here. I've been here coming to games since my freshman year. Just vision myself on the court. We practice every day, but that's not the same as a game. So game day, you got a different type of swag, different type of feeling. And I was just glad that I could be out there and enjoy the move with my guys.
Appreciate it.
Our next question is going to come from Robert Allen from Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rondel too. And is it safe to assume that there at the corner of the baseline is one of your favorite spots?
I like everywhere on the floor, but those spots today were just going in for me the best. So I just took it and ran with it.
One of the things that players who've played in that arena for years and years have said, it's a shooter's rim, that the rims, and I know the rims haven't been the same all those years, but you find the rims to be pretty soft and pretty inviting?
I definitely do. It's more of you get your reps up outside of game day. So when it comes to the game, that's the easy part. But getting to work outside, that's the hard part. So it just came pretty well. My teammates did a good job of giving me the ball, and I just did what I could to finish it.
Good enough. Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Our next question comes from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Hey, Rondel. I wanted to ask about the stretch in the first half where Cade goes to the bench in foul trouble. Ice has had foul trouble. He's on the floor, but can you kind of walk me through how you maybe that's when you had a couple of those three-point plays. Kind of walk me through those moments.
It's just a time to where that's going to happen throughout the season, not just with those two, but with anybody who contributes to the team, a vast majority. So it's just one of those things here to tell yourself and tell the guys out there with you that we're just as good. We're here for a reason too. So no drop-offs when we come in, and just keep it up and just be better from where they left off. And that's all we did today.
So, Ferron, in those moments too, how big is it that you guys are able to maybe weather a storm? It's a close game at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that just comes from, us just really competing in practice. We're all ready to go. It's basketball. Those things happen. That's not going to be the first or the last game that, Ice and K get in foul trouble. Obviously those are two most ball-dominant players that we have. So, having them off the court or, in that situation, we had Ice on the court, but, he wasn't being as aggressive with those two fouls early. Just being able to know that we have, like Dale was saying earlier, we got a deep team. So, all it is just making sure that guys are ready to step up when the numbers call. So,
were you feeling a little more comfortable this game than you were the opener, shooting-wise?
I feel like last game, there were just shots that, I normally make that, didn't go in. Today I got the same looks that I got last game. So, it's just a matter of just holding my follow through. These little things. Just making sure that I capitalize on the open looks that I do get. So.
And for either one of you, what was your angle on the MA dunk?
Hey,
I was teed. Yeah.
If that's not Sports Center #1 tonight, then ESPN is doing something wrong.
That definitely won't be the last one of the year. I'm telling you right now.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
That was a big time posting. I mean, if you'd have did that in the first half, man, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, fellas.
That's right.
And that's kind of who MA is, though, right? I mean, this was not a one-off kind of play. Am I correct?
Yeah, he does that for sure.
He did that multiple times in practice. As soon as he got that steal right there, I was like, yeah, that's it, dude.
Before even dunking, I'm on the side jumping. Oh yeah, it's up. Yeah.
Get your popcorn ready. We'll have it on the bench all season. All right. Our next question is going to come from Frank Bonner from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, my first question is for Ferron. When you guys have the talent you guys have and you can go as deep as you can, how much pressure does that take off of you guys individually, knowing that when you're on and you can get the ball, but if you're not having such a good game, you've got other teammates to help you out?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, just the depth that we have, it helps us, understand that, not every game everybody's going to make shots that they normally make. Like last game, I feel like that was a game where, I wouldn't even say that it was something where we were struggling. It was just, getting used to playing with each other. First game, I mean, we haven't had any scrimmages or anything. So, first game, getting out of our feet, especially with such a young team that we do have, and letting these guys see what it's like to, play in a college game. It's a different atmosphere. Like tonight, it was easy for us to, have guys like Dale, and, guys like MA and stuff like that come off the bench and produce at such a high level because these guys are started. You know what I mean? It's not like we have a bunch of guys that, we have 5 starters and then we have bench players. These guys are big players that can start easily. You see what I'm saying? So for our team, I feel like it's just, knowing that we all can step up at certain times. And, at certain times we can defer to other guys and do different things that can help impact the game.
And then for Rondel, how does that help you ease into the game as a freshman, still probably learning how to play college basketball a little bit?
It helps me to the fact where I know that with any game that I could, like I said, go off like I did today, or the next game, it could be Donovan Williams come off the bench. It's just like the depth we have. It's just wherever night that is that night, and we're going to ride with it and say it's mine and we go with it.
Appreciate you.
So,
Our next question comes from Sam Hutchins from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Sam. Sam, you may be on mute. All right, Sam, we're going to try back with you later on. But for now, let's go ahead and move on to Marshall Levinson from Pokes Report. Go ahead, Marshall.
Hey, guys, this is going to be kind of directed towards both of y'all to kind of share the answer. But what did you all feel from the energy in the arena tonight? Obviously, not many people because of COVID, but I'm sure you've both been in packed gyms before. And Rondel, you said you've been here for years watching games. But what did you feel from the crowd?
The crowd was wild today. I feel like the crowd did what was expected of them, and the situation we had, they were the loudest they could be, the most up. So I appreciate them for coming out and being as loud as they can and making the gym feel like it was filled with how loud they were.
Our next question is going to come from Joseph Fazio from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Joseph.
Hey guys, I'll direct this to both of you. Just great game tonight, but the team gave up 42 points in the paint and almost 20 offensive rebounds. Do you guys think that that's something you may have to work on in practice going forward in the season?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, we're still learning, figuring out what we have to do to be successful at a high level. I feel like that's somewhere that we've understood and known that that's an area where we're gonna have to really focus on. And make an emphasis on blocking out, rebounding. And I'm 100% positive that tomorrow and the day after that, we're going to be working on it. So, these coaches, they know what they're doing. We just put all our trust in it. Whatever they want to do, however they want to go about it, that's what we're going to do. Get a practice and compete, and the next game, we're going to try and do it even better than we did today.
I just feel like I just got to give those guys credit. They had a lot of high-major transfers to where the jersey number 5 really how good of a player they really are. So they had a lot of high D1 majors came in. So they had some players. So I can't discredit them for how good they really are. So the jersey didn't tell that story of how good those players really are.
All right, thanks, guys.
So,
Our next question is going to come from Benjamin Hutchins from the Oak Collie. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Hey, Rondel. I know PC West's color scheme has a little bit of blue / kind of teal in it. Do you just feel comfortable playing basketball in teal?
I just feel comfortable playing anything nice. They say you look good, you feel good, they play good. So whatever. We never go out there looking any type of way. We always have the best of the best. I just do the best I can. We have one every night.
Gotcha. And 19 points. How did it feel checking out of this game and getting your first ovation from the Gallagher crowd?
It felt good just knowing that as a kid, you just like envision yourself almost like this, watching games on TV. Like, yeah, that's gonna be me one day, and it being my first home game in my home state, and that just made it that much better.
Appreciate you.
So.
You guys don't even know that's high praise. When Rondel Walker is praising the uniform, saying that it looks good, they look good. This is a man of high fashion. He's got the hairstyle, the outfits, like that. That means something. All right, let's try again with Sam Hutchins. Sam, fire away. Let's give you another shot at it.
Hey, I think that was my fault. Sorry about that. But yeah, Rondel, I was just going to ask you, congrats on making your home court college basketball debut. I'm pretty sure you caught a game or two last year as a recruit. So I was just wondering, how did the atmosphere in here feel tonight versus like your past experiences here? And was it everything you expected in your Gallagher debut?
It was definitely everything I expected. Even with the seating being limited with COVID or any stuff like that, it was just it felt like a real live packed game. How, like I said, I credit the fans for being as loud as they could and cheering for it the best they could. So I really appreciated them, and that made it that much easier for us to go out there and put on the show for them.
Awesome. And Ferron, for you too, was it everything you envisioned? What did you think of it tonight?
Oh yeah, man, it was nice. Like I said, we appreciate the fans and everybody coming out and supporting, cheering as loud as they can. We know that there's people that wanted to make a game that couldn't sold out all their tickets tonight. So that's just credit to the big fan base that we have here. Cowboy fans are some of the best in the country, some of the best fans that I played under. So just grateful for everybody that came out tonight and also everybody that watched on TV.
Appreciate it.
Our final question is going to come from Ryan Breeden from the Oak Collie. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, this one's directed towards kind of both of you guys, but in the first game back on Wednesday, you guys had a little bit of problems with some turnovers with 18 of them. And then tonight you guys are able to cut that number almost in half with 10. Was that something you guys focused on from Wednesday to now? And what are some of the improvements you guys have seen? And then what do you guys think you still need to get better with in that area?
Yeah, that's something that, we knew that, especially going forward, having that many turnovers is going to be really hard to win games, especially in our conference. So, we knew that we have to do a much better job of taking care of the ball. A lot of careless turnovers, especially last game. We see it's kind of similar. They played Texas, they played zone just the same way that UTA did. So we was able to, take care of the ball and, not be as careless with the ball. That's often easy to do, especially when you see a team go zone. So, I feel like going forward, that's just something that we have to keep focusing on. 10 still too many. We want to be able to really, really take care of the ball. So, I think that we're just going to continue to get better there, value our possession even more.
And then for Rondel, you guys had a much improved shooting game tonight. Like as a team, you guys shot almost 50% from the floor and 40% from three, and that was mostly in part led by kind of the two of you guys. Did it feel like just a comfort thing? Did you guys feel like you were able to get into a rhythm?
It's more of, this year is such an unconventional year. Usually by this time we have a little more, excuse me, we'll have a couple scrimmages under our belt, facing different opponents, things like that. And with UTA being our first game this past Wednesday, it was the first real competition we've seen other than ourselves. So that was a little different for us, and we just took some adjusting, and then that just made it that much easier for us to perform today against Texas Southern on home floor.
Thank you.
So,
All right, fellas. Well, that'll do it for the questions. But before we let you go, I mean, we've got the group here. Is there anything maybe that we missed, or anything that you want to make sure that you at least get your word in on?
I'm sure.
Tune in on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. Congratulations on the win. Have a great night.
Appreciate you, Steve.
Yes, sir. Hey,
So you get a couple important guys in foul trouble pretty early in the game. You still go on to win by 20 against a very good team. Could you maybe take us through it a little bit, what you saw out there, what you thought about the performance?
yeah, I was overall very pleased with the way we played as a team. That's part of the game. You have to deal with that stuff sometimes. And this is the time of year you're trying to figure out what you can do, what works, right? And I was going to try to play ice with two. I did for a few minutes, somewhat successfully. Tried the same thing with Cade. Obviously, he picked up his third in the first half, so lesson learned for me. And something I got to continue to monitor, because those obviously are two guys we did on the court. The other one is Caleb had 2 fouls in the first half as well. And so, we got some time for Bernie. Donovan got a little bit more playing time in the first half than probably he would have otherwise if Caleb wasn't in foul trouble. And so, we're still trying to figure out who we are. Otherwise, I thought we played a pretty balanced game. So we did a good job of sharing the basketball and taking care of it and making our free throws. 3 things that we didn't do a great job of on Wednesday night. So for this time of year, it's all about improvement. Are we getting better? I feel like we're getting better, and I think tonight's performance versus Wednesday's performance is indicative of that.
For all the analytics nerds out there, the offensive efficiency numbers were really good and the defensive efficiency numbers were good today. Do you think that, this is a game where maybe the OSU's length, on both ends of the court maybe factored in on that?
Yeah, I thought we were much more active defensively. We got a lot more deflections. The only discouraging thing I saw from the stat sheet so far is they got a lot of offensive rebounds. And several of them were not that they grabbed them, it was that we wouldn't grab them ourselves. We knocked them out of bounds. We were going after balls with one hand. And so we got to do a much better job just finishing defensive possessions with rebounds. And we'll work on that the next couple of days as we head up to Marquette.
Members of the media, if you have a question for Oklahoma State coach Mike Boynton, please click raise hand. Our first question is going to come from Robert Allen from Triple Play Sports. Go ahead, Robert.
Yes, sir, Coach. Gavin kind of talked about it early on, but it was about midway through the first half, and you were having some foul trouble with Ice and with Cade. But it was a grinding half, and you guys kind of outgrinded against a veteran team. What does that show?
Well, it's one of the things that I talked about with our guys heading into the game. They've got some really talented players. Forget Galen Alexander was at Georgetown a year ago, came here on the team and won. And he didn't leave Georgetown because he wasn't good enough. Michael Weathers was here at Oklahoma State 2 years ago and didn't leave because he wasn't good enough. Those guys are really high-level basketball players. And so what I told our guys is it's not just about talent. It's about who's going to be the tougher team, who's going to do the little things better than the other team. And I thought for the most part, other than defensive rebounding, we did the little things better than they did. So just some character, some growth, and that our talent certainly is ready for these type of challenges.
How pleasing was the turnover, minimizing the turnovers from the other night?
Yeah, it was really good. And I think it's a pretty good comparison because a lot of our turnovers the other day was versus zone. They played quite a bit of zone today. We did a much better job taking care of it, not turned over. Now, we still shot a few too many quick threes early in the half, but I thought we did a much better job attacking the basket and getting the ball into the paint this game.
Thanks, Coach.
Our next question comes from Jacob Unruh from the Oklahoman. Go ahead, Jacob.
Mike, during that stretch that Robert mentioned, Rondel really big during that stretch. What did you see from him in those moments?
Well, it's the same thing that I've seen from him for a long time now. That kid's a gamer. Not that he doesn't bring it in practice every day, but because he does. He actually practices pretty consistently well. And is a guy that I have a lot of confidence in. I've talked about him in the preseason as a guy that's going to have a hard time keeping him off the court because he can impact the game without making shots. And then, obviously, like you saw tonight, he can get it going. Then I think him and Cade have a little bit of chemistry. Cade might have found him a few times when he was open, and he was ready to knock him down. So I got to give credit to the kid for continuing to work hard and believe in himself and not getting down because he didn't make shots the other night. But he was able to bounce back and play with a lot of confidence today. And it started with a hustle play. He got an offensive rebound put back in the first half and made several other plays where he's just chasing down the ball, outplaying the other guys.
For you, you've recruited him a long time. Does it mean a little bit more to see a local kid debut like that in this court?
Absolutely. It's always important for me, for the kids in the state of Oklahoma, to know that this is the place that they want to play college basketball. And to see a kid like that coming to have success, to see the Boone twins have the success that they've had, knowing that we believe in those guys really early. And so we want to continue to mine the fields here in the state of Oklahoma. It's the most important state to us. And all the best players in the state of Oklahoma, we want to have an opportunity to come here. And Rondel Walker's doing a great job of us so far, and so the Boones.
You've hyped up MA at times, obviously, but what about his dunk?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not the best one I've seen, to be honest, but it's up there. But that won't be the last time you'll see him make a play like that. He's pretty aggressive around the basket.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
Our next question comes from Frank Bonner from the Tulsa World. Go ahead, Frank.
Hey, Mike, when you look at what Cade did today, he had a couple of steals, a couple of blocks, and he cut down on his turnovers. What do you think about that aspect of his game from, the first game?
I'll tell you this. On Thursday morning, I usually come in and work out at 6 every morning just to get some cardio. And I guess I used to tell the story that old men work out at early in the morning. I guess I'm the old man now, but I came back up from the weight room at about 7 o'clock and I heard a ball bouncing. 7 o'clock on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, the day after his first college basketball game, and Cade was the one guy in the gym. So I went there and talked to him for a little bit, and he wasn't pleased with how he played the other day. So he was pretty adamant that he was going to play better. He watched the film a couple times. He wanted to figure out things that he could do better, ways he could approach the game better. And those are the little things that goes to show you why he's going to be a great player, not only here but in the future, because he's so vested in it, so vested in winning and becoming the best. And so I wasn't surprised that he played a more efficient game, that he was better defensively, and that he was still his aggressive self on the offensive end when he needed to be.
How contagious can that be, just his other teammates seeing him do the work like that?
I mean, I think anytime you're a guy like him with the accolades that he's had, and he's looked to as a leader for us. And so guys want to kind of follow him and do what he does to see if they can get to the same level. So it's certainly a true asset for us to have him in our program with the type of work ethic that he has every day. He's usually one of the last guys to leave the gym every day because he gets extra shots up. And on a day like Thursday, after playing his first college basketball game and being in the gym at 6:30 in the morning, it shows you why he's going to be a really, really great player.
Thank you, Mike.
Our next question comes from Marshall Levinson from Pokes Report. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah, Coach. Can you kind of talk about what Gallagher-Iba felt like tonight, and as far as the energy? I mean, your guys looks like they're creating some of their own energy, especially with plays like MA's dunk. But compared to last year with packed gyms, kind of what was your expectation and what was your reaction?
Honestly, I don't know what I expected. It's hard to tell. I know that our fans are really excited about where our program is. Our kids have worked hard and have done a good job preparing for the season. I'm excited for what our staff has done and kind of revitalizing the energy here. But it's really hard on our fans. I feel bad that more of them can't come out and support these guys. I wish we can get more of them in. It's just, we're dealing with this pandemic still. And hopefully we'll get it past maybe before the end of the season and some of this stuff will change. But I thought the crowd that was there was very energetic. I thought they brought great life to us. I thought our guys, felt that energy from them and was very appreciative of that fan support. And I look forward to our guys continuing to play well here in Gallagher because I still believe it's absolutely the best venue in the country.
Have you had to have like any discussions with them to create their own energy or kind of playing in not an empty gym, but pretty much almost an empty gym?
We haven't talked much about that, to be honest. I mean, it's a fact of life right now for us. We got to deal with different circumstances everywhere we go. I think in Marquette, they're not allowed to have any fans. So we'll deal with that when we get there. But for the time being, our job is to play as hard as we can, as long as we can, because we're appreciative of the opportunity that we have to actually play the game. And so if we can't play hard, understanding everything else that's going on, shame on us. So I'm proud of our guys the way they're approaching this thing right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Our next question comes from Sam Hutchins from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Sam.
Hey, Coach. I was just going to ask you something. Normally you're a pretty routine-oriented guy when you walk in the arena, always like knuckle bumping all the people on press row and, saying what's up and giving some love. But I'm curious, did everything just feel, how different did it feel, the adjustment with the student section pulled back and, Gallagher just looking different? What did it feel like walking in here today?
Yeah, it's definitely different. I've been in here for some really cool environments, and I appreciate all of our fans that come to every game. I certainly try to show appreciation for the people who work, at the scores table, the officials, and try to show respect to the other coaches. Those are things that are certainly not advisable this season. So just dealing with it as it is. It's an unfortunate deal because I don't ever want people to think that it's not something that I do appreciate. Right? I'm very thankful for however many people we had. I don't even know what the number is, and all the people that are still doing everything they can to work. People got to show up here in masks and shields, and so those people deserve a lot of credit for helping us, pull these things off. And so, if I can right now, just take a moment to say thank you to all the people that are using their time right now in the middle of a pandemic to come here and help us continue to have a basketball season and give our kids an opportunity to compete in the game that we love.
And I'm not sure if you even allowed yourself to imagine kind of the moment, but, with the season kind of in flux, but when you walked in, like, what do you think of just the noise and energy level in this crowd? Was it more than you expected, or what did you think of it?
Again, Sam, I don't know if I had any expectations. I really had no idea where this thing would go. I know that I've heard from some people who are frustrated, right? They've been waiting for our program to be back relevant and have a player, like Cade who can give them a reason to be excited about being in Gallagher and to have the other young guys and Rondel and Matthew and Donovan and Ice in his third year that want to be here so badly. And, I feel for them because I wish they could all come, but at the same time, this will pass. Our program will continue to get better. Other than Cade, we expect many of those other guys to be back here for many more years. And this program is going to continue to build in a way that for several years to come, they're going to be excited to come to Gallagher and watch us play.
Thanks, Coach.
Our next question is going to come from Marshall Scott from Pistols Firing. Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah, Mike, you mentioned earlier having to play against a zone again. Do you anticipate that that's going to kind of be a regular thing for you guys with the talent you have? You seem to have a little more success today, especially like finding the short corner. Do you anticipate that being a regular thing against you guys?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I've kind of pondered that a lot myself. In some ways, I try to think to myself, how would I play us? I'm not sure I would play us a zone. But obviously, we've seen it in 2 straight games, and so we got to continue to fine-tune our zone offense. But I feel confident that we have pretty good shooters, as Rondel and Ferron showed tonight, that can give us some very good options if we do see a lot more.
and Icy hit another three tonight. I think he's 50% on the year. We've talked about this a lot, but just how much can that do for his game that people have to guard him out on the perimeter?
Yes, it's a part of our development strategy with him. Many people don't remember, but after his freshman year, that was going to be the concentration for him, was to fine-tune the shot. And then we sent him off to USA Basketball because that opportunity was probably more important for him individually than it was for what our program could do. And so this offseason, even though it was different, he was here, right? And so we got a chance to really fine-tune that thing. And he's shooting with confidence. One thing I know about ICC, he's not going to take a ton of threes. He's not really going to take any bad threes. He's not going to force any. So I'm confident that he's going to make good decisions when he's open and take the ones that he knows he's in rhythm. And I got confidence that he's going to make a pretty good majority of them.
And last thing is there a timetable on when you'll have Montreal available?
Not right now. As soon as I have more information, I'll let you know.
Thanks.
Next question comes from Benjamin Hutchins from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Benjamin.
Hey, Coach, I almost kind of question the humanity of a sports fan who doesn't get excited for a big and one. And you kind of got into it with Jacob a little bit. How big were those two and ones Rondel got at the end of the first half when Cade was on the bench with foul trouble?
Well, they were huge. Again, Rondel was, he was the MVP of the game for us in many ways, because while we were kind of waiting there, and it was a 6-9-5 game, right? The margin, he really lifted us up, helped us get some stops, helped us get some timely baskets around the rim, which was something we really needed against that zone to kind of loosen them up. So those are huge plays, and again, they went a long way to him continue to feel confident in the second half when he got his open threes.
Certainly. Thanks very much, Coach.
Our next question is going to come from Ryan Breeden from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned some of the differences in facing the zone the second time around as compared to the first game. You guys were very improved shooting-wise, especially from behind the arc as well as from the free throw line, which from free throw line on Wednesday, you guys went 14 for 27. Tonight, you guys went 21 for 27. What do you think were some of the reasons behind the improvements from not only the free throw line, but also from behind the arc?
Practice. I'm sure the first game there was a lot of jitters, right? We on the road, sometimes you don't shoot as well as you do at home. But I got confidence in these kids. And what I tell them is the moment that they don't shoot open shots, then they don't have as much value, and we can't play them as much. So I need them to work hard enough so that they can feel confident that they're going to make the shots when they're open that they're supposed to shoot. So, guys like Ferron, I don't worry. He's going to have a game where he goes 1 for 8. It's okay. He's going to have a game where he goes 7 for 8. And we'll take both of them because we know his value for us in the long run is going to be critical. I remember having these conversations about Thomas Zagra. People question whether we should be playing him. And you got incredible value where you can make shots from 3-point range. Him, Rondel, Keelan will get it going at some point here. Obviously, Cade has showed the ability that he can make threes. And so, again, to Marshall's question about whether teams will zone us, I like my chances as we go forward and these guys get more comfortable with each other.
And you guys also were able to cut down on turnovers today. You had 19 on Wednesday, and you were able to cut that number pretty much in half to 10. Is that something that you guys put a big emphasis on in practice from Wednesday to now?
Absolutely. We talked about running better offense, being stronger with the ball. We thought that Texas Southern was a better defensive team than the team we played on Wednesday. And so it was a big emphasis in valuing the basketball and getting ourselves an opportunity to get good shots. Because, again, that really is what kept the margin so close the other night. If we don't turn the ball over as much on Wednesday, it's a much different game. And obviously we made our free throws when we got to the line much better than we did on Wednesday as well.
Thanks, Coach.
And our final question is going to come from Joseph Fazio from the O'Colly. Go ahead, Joseph.
Coach, at the beginning you talked about how giving up, I think it was 16 or 18 offensive rebounds really hurt your team's defense. But you guys also gave up 42 points in the paint. Is there something that you can attribute to that, and would you think you may need to practice more to, negate those numbers?
Part of it is we got to guard at the point of attack a little bit better. We get driven a little bit more than I'd like to right now. And to be perfectly honest, we don't have a great shot blocking rim protector until Caleb can get going more consistently. Tonight he played a whole lot better. He had 3 blocks, but he was in foul trouble. So when he didn't play as much, and that certainly hurt our interior defensive presence. And so what we got to do is when he's not playing, because even though Bernie is a good option for us, he's not a shot blocker either. He's much more of a positional defender. We just got to be more committed to taking charges and being in better position on the help side when teams want to drive us and try to get to the basket. But no question, that's something that we got to address pretty soon.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
All right, so that'll do it for questions. But Coach, before we let you go, is there anything maybe that we missed or anything that you specifically wanted to address while we've got everybody here?
No, again, I just want to I'm proud of these kids. They continue to do what we asked them to do. They're making a lot of sacrifices for us to be able to play. I'm looking forward to getting back to work tomorrow and getting ready for our first major test on the road on Tuesday against Marquette.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you. Congratulations on the win. Have a great night. Members of the media, thank you as well. We appreciate you.